Lowell Observatory's Clark telescope has been in continuous use in the Flagstaff community for 117 years. Serving its role as a tool for both education and research, the telescope will soon be leaving its dome-shaped home for a little R&R.
The telescope is about to go through some pretty big changes. NAZ Today's reporter Sierra Ferguson went out to Lowell Observatory and is in the studio now. Sierra, what can you tell us about the renovations?
Well, this morning I met with Ralph Nye, the telescope guy, as he is fondly known at our very own Lowell Observatory, and he's been entrusted with the repair of Lowell's most famous and one of its most beloved telescopes.
The dome that houses the Clark telescope, one of Percival Lowell and the Lowell Observatory's oldest fixtures, can be seen from a great many places in Flagstaff. But in the near future, cranes will mark the horizon beside the telescope, because at the moment, it is out of commission.
It's been here since 1896, and it's old enough to need a rebuild.
This is Ralph Nye, a 30-year veteran of Lowell Observatory, and the man entrusted with the telescope's repair.
No, it's just a pleasure to work on something like this, and this telescope has never really been taken apart. I've kind of kept it working all these years that I've been here, but there's nothing like taking it apart and redoing all the parts and putting fresh grease and fixing all the little problems that it has and putting it back together with a new paint job. So it'll look very nice after we get done and work probably a lot better than it has before.
Nye told us that when we look at the stars, we are looking into the past, through centuries of history, and the antique Clark telescope, which sits 25 feet off the ground, is a piece of history in and of itself.
And it was used for the Apollo moon mapping program. Lately it's solely been used for public viewing, and there's not too many places around that you can look through an old antique refractor.
Because the Clark has become a kind of community telescope, Nye is moving quickly but carefully to make sure it's open to the public as soon as possible. However, the repair should take about 1 year to complete.
We have to take the telescope completely apart, and because it's so high up off the ground, it's hard to work on. You think of how did those guys do it in 1896?
With 21 telescopes of his own, Nye is an astronomer in his own right, but he continues to labor happily by day to repair the telescope that he has maintained for a number of years.
Astronomy is my hobby, so they're paying me to work on my hobby. So everybody should have a job like that, I think.
This repair will ensure that future generations can look through history and into the past for many years to come. For NAZ Today, I'm Sierra Ferguson.